We have 3 significant mountain passes today between Eureka and Ely, and no services between them. Our route keeps us on US 50 today. Before the formation of the US highway system, this road was considered State Route 2. The term loneliest road in America was coined by Life magazine in 1986 as a slant on the state, but the state jumped on it as a marketing slogan. A wet rain fly from the rain last night. I stayed dry in there. Everybody has their own method for getting their tent dry. I've seen the wipe method, I've seen the shake method, I've seen the drape method. I'm employing the drape method right now. Peter is generously making eggs for all of us this morning. He got a dozen at the store yesterday.
Your salsa too.
Good morning, it's day 10, Saturday, May 25th. And I got an early start before the other guys because we have a lot of climbing today. A lot of climbing. So yesterday was a real tough day for me. I'm hoping it was just because of the poor night of sleep. And I got a much better night of sleep last night. Granted, it was still camping, so it wasn't perfect. But I had a great breakfast, and also my bike today is probably the heaviest it will be all summer, as I'm carrying a lot of water. We have 77.8 miles to go with no water, so I'm bringing about 4 liters, and a ton of food, because I want to have a big breakfast or big lunch on the way instead of just bars. I got a fruit cocktail, sandwich, and other things, so hopefully that will make today a better day than yesterday on the road. I studied the elevation profile a bit more last night than I usually do, so today's starting out with a 5-mile climb, which I'm almost 3 miles into right now, and then 2 more 10-mile climbs, each about the same steepness. So I'm estimating 6 of my hours today are going to be spent going slow and climbing on this route, and the total route 77 miles. So yeah, there'll be some downhills and some flats, but these climbs are really going to make for a long day, and I need to keep my attitude up. I'm realizing it's hard to talk to the camera when I'm climbing these steep grades, as my brain doesn't process things quick enough, and since I'm out of breath, the words come out of my mouth much more slowly. I did something yesterday I hadn't done in probably 10 years. It was use a soda machine. There was one outside the supermarket, and I thought, an orange soda sounds so good. And it was Shasta brand, Shasta, except no substitutes. I didn't, and it was only 50 cents. So I got myself a 50-cent orange soda from a soda machine. The first climb, the 5-mile one, is now done, and apparently somebody was adamant that this summit is actually 1 foot higher than the sign originally said.
39.9!
After that short descent, we finally have some deciduous trees. It was just brush leading up to the pass. It's been a real treat riding with a pack of 5 these past 3 days or so. It's been me, Paul, and then Peter from Duluth, and these 2 friends from Fort Collins, Colorado, Mike and Kurt. So we've been camping at the same places, and yeah, we get along really well. We ride at different paces, and so we're not on the road together, but we make the same breaks and eat at the same restaurants and set up camp. It's been really, really fun. Hope there's more folks to meet on the trail this summer, because Mike and Kurt, after today, are deviating from the Western Express. So we'll separate from them. And then Peter, he's going to be with us, I think, through Utah. I'm not sure. He's deviating too eventually. I'm riding into a few light raindrops. Nothing to be concerned with. I think it's our 3rd time we've been rained on. It was day 2 or 3. Super light, just lasted a couple minutes. And then last night, but we were under the protection of our tents. Uphill and into a fierce headwind. Ah! What a terrible name for a summit. Nothing up here is flat like a pancake. And I'm not sure if this is one of the 3 big summits today, if I should be counting this one as summit number 2, or if this was just some intermediate one. I'm hoping it's one of the 3, but I'm not certain. And rain persist. It's in the mid-40s, 28 miles into today's ride, and my fingers have never warmed up yet. I'm really hoping as the day progresses and the sun gets higher in the sky, it'll warm this land up a little bit. Just got a friendly honk and a wave from a car, and reminds me of a story yesterday. There was an SUV, and both the driver and passenger had their arms out of the window, like shaking them, coming the other direction, like cheering, yay, yay! And that was super encouraging. But I found out later that those were members of the cycling team of one of the guys that we're riding with. They had seen him ahead, and they were cheering on the rest of us after passing him. I'm approaching the last big climb of the day, so I stopped for a ham and cheddar wrap and a banana and a can of V8 from my panniers to give me energy for this. But at what cost? At the cost of my body temperature dropping. Wow. Stopping pedaling with this wind and temperature. You pay a price. This one was a killer. I think that the road designer of Little Antelope Summit was bullied as a kid, and this is his way of getting back at the world. I have a couple pieces of bad news. First one is that I had my other action camera on time-lapse mode all morning, so all the footage I took got ruined. So that's too bad. The second one is a bit more tragic, And that pass at 6,500 feet was not one of the 3 major passes of the day. There is still one more major pass to climb today. Oh boy. My strategy for the future is to take all the elevation profiles and create a little note in my phone that says something like, I don't know, 15 minutes or 15 miles into the ride, there is a 10-mile climb up to 7,100 feet, and list out each of those in a note, because with the GPS that has a altimeter and I know how far I've gone, so I'll know when those passes are coming up and how long they'll be. Today's snack of the day is Good and Plenty's. Haven't had these in somewhere between 5 and 10 years, let's call it 7.5 years. They're fantastic. Well, this was a welcome sight. It's for real the last pass of the day. I guess 6,500 foot passes don't count. 6,500 feet, that'd be probably the highest elevation in probably like 20 states, at least in America. Okay, we still have 18.1 miles to go, but it is mostly downhill. There was still 0.2 of a mile of climbing after the summit sign. That's not cool. After cresting that last pass at 7,600 feet, I tried to see how long I can go without pedaling. And to be honest, I could go further, but I'm just going slow. But I have not turned my pedals, and I have gone 9.2 miles without cranking my pedals a single time, all from coasting. I was at 7,800 feet, and now I'm at 6,780 feet. So I'm gonna do some pedaling now. It's gonna be pretty easy. Not bad. So different pedaling downhill than pedaling uphill. Another positive thing to the end of this ride, the past 3 or 4 cities we've stayed in Nevada, we've had to do a serious climb to get into town. And this is the first one where we are doing a serious descent to get into town. Much nicer. You'd rather have that at the tail end of the day. I saw a billboard advertising jobs for miners. That's something I've never seen. Advertising jobs for miners. And it said that drillers start at $120,000 a year. And assistants to the drillers start at $83,000 per year. It's a decent wage. That is fascinating, how the mining operations create that patchwork pattern on the side of the cliff. Ely, Nevada is pronounced Ely, not Eli. Ely is yet another mining town in Nevada along our route, but it is unique because it sits on copper deposits. Copper has seen an increase in demand since 2005, and the population here isn't falling as quickly as the other cities in central Nevada. It's home to a 6-story hotel that started as a gambling hall in 1929, and it was the tallest building in the state at that time. Ely has an active elk population, and former First Lady Patricia Nixon was born in Ely. A quick daily recap from outside our room at the Hotel Parkview Magnuson. I got laundry going right now, and daily recap. Scenery today, 9. It was great, especially descending from those mountain passes. It was spectacular. Hopefully I got some of that on film. And difficulty was also a 9. This was a lot of miles, a lot of climbing. The road conditions, a 5. And overall feeling of positivity, 7. Good night. I'm having an early night. I need some sleep.